Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So okay, we'll wait for 2 more minutes. I'm not able to pause the recording. Okay. That's wonderful. You are, in fact, you're on time, before time. So we'll be, you're ready with the chanting the shlokas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's wonderful. Do get into this, Ekadashi sloka chanting also. They do give one chapter for each individual. They ask different groups. And so yesterday was Ekadashi, or there it is today. So on the Ekadashi day, all 700 shlokas are chanted. And then one chapter for each group they give.
Oh, okay.
You have to send a recording of yours to, we'll send it to you. Like, if you send it to Prajesh Prabhu, then he will send it to the admin there. And Shobha Mataji just listens to the pronunciation and it has to be right. And you are doing it wonderful. So absolutely no problem.
Ma'am, there are words which are very long, like one word that is very long. So to split that word and pronounce that gets me somewhat difficult.
I understand, but then over a time of time, basically practice. It's only the practice. So, and then the meaning. So then automatically the sandhi which just takes place very beautifully. So it is a sandhi, so some 4 words also. Sanskrit, that is the beauty. Even 4 words gets into the one word, like, so it is all united. So that is the beauty in Sanskrit. Prajesh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So you can, the recording is going on, I think, that editing you have to quickly. We'll begin with the today's class. We'll just start with the invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Sakshara Unmilidhanayena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasavadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to all the devotees and the journey. And it is the 10th day, which means almost half of the journey has been so beautifully traveling with you all. And let's move on to showing our gratitude and to the Bhagavan, the deities, Radha Krishna devote here.
Mataji, are you sharing the screen, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
We can't see, Mataji. Can you reshare?
Oh, okay. Yes. Now?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
Now you're able to see. Okay. So our obeisance and prayers to Radha Govinda, and he has been with us in this journey, and all our respects to Radha Govinda deities, and also Mangalore ISKCON, and for this opportunity that we are all traveling together free of cost, and that too in the not in the economy class, in the AC coach. We are sitting inside because it's such a smooth journey. It's online, And so we also show all our gratitude and respects to the ISKCON Temple Mangalore, especially Ramanishtadas Prabhu, who had, whose brain is behind all this. And then we have all the gratitudes for all of them, and mainly to all the devotees who are with us. And maybe some reasons the journey, some of them have got down in between, but then we also know that they have been looking into the recordings and watching. That's what I came to know. But then any language, anything, some devotional service here and there, when we do, we make all our companions to go along with us. We love all our friends, all the entities. Now that we know all the living entities are all his creation, so we take them along in this journey. Having said, let's just have a glimpse of what we did till now. What did we do, so that we move on to 10th? What did we understand? What was Krishna explaining till now? Just a brief, anybody. Yashika Mataji, Arpita Mataji, Rajshekhar Prabhu, anyone can just unmute. And what did we see? What did we learn? Are we learning something? Whatever Krishna is speaking to Arjuna till now.
Ma'am, the previous 9 chapters, whatever we learned, the main thing was whatever we do, we offer first to something to him, and then we do it in Krishna consciousness. So whatever karmas we do in our life, we should always offer him first and do it always in Krishna consciousness and in devotional service to Krishna.
Excellent. Thank you, Prabhu. Anything, Arpita Mataji? Anything that you think in 9 days, this is 10th day, in 9 days, we understood whatever Krishna has been telling Arjuna, and what is the essence that we have taken? It's my message, my knowledge, my understanding. What is it? Anybody? Yashika Mataji, Arpita Mataji? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my first class, so please excuse.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Yashika Mataji?
Yes,
Yes.
Mataji. Ma'am, Mataji, I learned about the right kind of karma that we should do, about karma yoga and everything. That we should do all the karmas that we are doing, we should do in Krishna consciousness, for him, thinking about him. So that will help in shaping up my life.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you keep doing your work, but then keep him in the loop. That is, always remember him. That was the message. Excellent. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Mataji. And we also, keep telling each other, Mataji and Prabhuji, that's because, just to show the humility, the humbleness. We are all in the learning process. It's not like, I'm a teacher, you're a learner. No, we are all interacting with each other. It is only Krishna spoke. It is only Bhagavan's speech. And he's the best teacher. Arjuna is a great warrior, great devotee, a great friend. And on our behalf, he's asking. So we are all like, to be very humble. When we approach a guru, when we approach a teacher, we need to be very humble and show all our humility. That's a reason to one another. See, always, if you see two great Vaishnavas, when they meet also, they touch each other's feet, and then, they address in that way. So Prabhu is basically the way we show to each other the, spiritual path. Okay. So we move on to today's class, which is the 10th day. And we are going to know about Krishna, his Vibhuti Yoga. Now, all of them are yoga. You will see Sankhya Yoga, we saw the transcendental, then Dhyana Yoga, we saw Karma Yoga. So when you see all these words, why does it show that it is yoga? Rajshekhar Prabhu, why do you think it is yoga? Everywhere you see this yoga.
Ma'am, as far as my understanding, yoga is basically the ability to do anything, like ability to do something. So whenever, like whatever chapters that is there, like bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga, so the yogya to do that thing particular in that way.
Very good. Yoga is also linking. Okay, so it's also linking. whatever you're saying is absolutely right. It's the ability, it is a linking purpose. That is the reason dhyana yoga. So it is nothing to do with okay, all those only the rituals or something, but it is beyond that. So today we will be looking into the opulence of the absolute, all those guna, all those, and he himself is going to list and say, who am I, what am I? So that will create a curiosity. We are getting into the diving slowly and gradually understood, who am I? Am I a body or a soul? And then, he explained that this is how it is. I know everything. Bahunam Janmanam. I have been knowing all this. And, you and me are contemporary. Then how come you're saying that you have told Vivaswan then 120 million years ago now? So slowly he is unveiling himself. Krishna is unveiling, he is revealing slowly and gradually, not as a, so till now, as a friend, as a philosopher, okay, I am done with it. Now you explain, you are my master, you are my great guru, you tell me. Total surrender is slowly happening. That's what we are seeing. And so all those opulences, which will be narrated by Krishna himself. So, okay, this story, I'm sure many of you know. And if anybody knows about it, can you just tell the first one? But I'll recite the shloka. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Bhuya eva mahabaho shrunu me paramam vachah yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamyaya. So what the Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again. So listen again, because you said it quite a number of times. Shrunu, Shrunu always comes like, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy. So the previous chapter, he said, I'm giving a confidential message, a confidential, most confidential. First, it was little confidence, 7th, 8th and all, confidence and more confidence and then most confidence. Now, for your enjoyment, for your benefit, I'm going to say something. What does this picture, the image show? Anyone can unmute and, yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, I think this is the one where Krishna would be sleeping and Arjuna and Duryodhana both would have come to ask him for help for the Kurukshetra war.
Very good. So what does it indicate? What is the message here?
I think that Arjuna would be near his feet, like which would maybe depict his submission towards Krishna, while Duryodhana was near his head. Maybe his arrogance is showed him.
Excellent, excellent, Yashika Mataji. Thank you so much. Lot of messages, total submission, and the humbleness, and look at the arrogance. But you know what? Both of them got, so when Krishna got up, naturally he saw Arjuna first. So the beauty is Arjuna is given the chance. Now Arjuna says, I need only you. And think over. So then Duryodhana asked for that 11 Akshoni Sena. So now this person is also very happy. Arjuna, Duryodhana thinks, what a foolish man he is, like, he's just asking for this Mayavi and nothing can be done. But Arjuna is very happy, just having Krishna with him. And Duryodhana is very happy that he got this. So both of them are very happy with what they got, what they received. And of course, it is all Krishna's plan and strategy. So you cannot deny whatever happens is like, it is all his plan. Nami viduhu suraganaha prabhavam namaharshayah ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Prabhu, Rashika Prabhu, you can read the translation. You have read the sloka.
Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages.
Yes. You're seeing, just look at the image that you're seeing, and then I will explain this. Yo mama jamanadhim na cha veti loka maheshwaram asamad samarthyeshu sarva papaihi pramuchyate.
He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he only undiluted among them is freed from all sins.
Right. Who is this on this image? Okay, now Devaki, right? So do you think Krishna is born there, but then, at the last minute, like all the demigods, they know because they are looking at the aura, the Daiviga, that sort of uh, all those opulences they could imagine. Why they could imagine? Because Devaki is having a Daivik fetus. So it is that Atma, that super soul, which is entering, which is going to enter, say, okay? So all of them are just wanting to see what is this Divya Jyoti, what is this insight that, so all of them are observing Devaki. Okay. So we move on to the sixth, 4 and 5, and we move on to the sixth shloka. So Maharshya Sapta Purve Chatvaro Manavasthata Madbhava Manasa Jata Yesham Loka Ima Prajaha. When you
The
see
seven
this, yeah, please.
Okay, the 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them.
It's like, it is just the thought process, sankalpa matra. He can design and he can create, and there are all like great 7 sages, who are there. The gotras also, many of the Brahmana gotras, if you see, they're all descendants, Bharadwaja, Vasishta, Vishwamitra, all of them, those sages named, they are all Saptarishi Mandala also, you see that. Then 4 sages, Sanat Kumaras, then Manu. So from his mind, they're all born. Mind, in the sense, it's just the Sankalpa Matra. Sankalpa Matra is just his thought process finished. Okay, they're all born through that. So we have to relate this story also now. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatpatah so vikatyena yogena yujyetanatra samshayah.
One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
This is the most important word here, unalloyed devotional service. When you pour the oil, the ghee, the oil, especially, till oil or sesame oil. So if you pour like that, there is no cut in between. It keeps going. Unalloyed devotional service, total faith, total dedication, and no stoppage in between. No, so that devotional service. Now, what is this image? What is this? Any idea? Anybody? If you remember, Akrura was in Kamsa's kingdom. Okay, so he's one of the uncle. So he is sent to get Balarama and Krishna for that Mushtika. This one. So in that courtyard, when they are entering, look at the people. The glory of these two, they are walking in. Are you able to see? Look at the opulence. Look at the way they enter. Everybody in Mathura is like, oh my God, who is this? Who is this? 10 years old. You remember that Kamsa Vada takes place here. It is all planned, like Mushtika. They have this Dvandva, that is, they have this competition there. And purposely, Akrura, when he brings them on the way, he goes because he will be able to see the Paramatma. So he knows, so he is very happy to go and receive. But then when he gets down to do a Nitya Anushtana in one of the river, he says, I hope the children are there. I hope he is there. So always is thinking about Krishna. And then he's very
Ma'am,
scared that
voice is not good.
he's very scared, maybe like Krishna, Kamsa is calling Krishna to kill. So what do I do? What do I do? So now Krishna wants to make Akrura feel comfortable. So inside water itself, he shows his with a forearm, with Chanka Chakra. So now Akrura feels, okay, you know what? I saw the Paramatma Rupam. It is dry. It's okay. So he brings him there. When he brings him there, all the people, those who are there, who are being called in that courtyard, they're all looking at him and enjoying the glory the moment they enter. Okay, this is that place. Is this my voice okay now? Are you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in between maybe that net. Okay. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matthas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Yes, with little knowledge you cannot. So those who are able to understand that all spiritual and material worlds, it's the source is only him. And everything comes from him. We are all just Anu Atma, he's a Vibhu Atma. So the spark, we are just a spark. But the wise people who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service. Anything that I'm doing, morning till evening, anything I'm doing, he is in the center, he is watching, he is spectator, he is delightfully watching us, but he is not doing anything. You are doing, you are being given, the body has been given to you as an instrument to do everything. But the trigunas take over, and then you keep balancing. But then within your heart, you keep thinking, oh, he is doing everything. I am not that way. I am not doing anything. Then you will automatically get engaged to the devotional service, and from your heart you will start worshiping. So Machitta Madgata Prana Odayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
So always, when it is something to do with Anartha vritti is unartham, without any meaning. If you keep discussing about the politics, keep discussing about what is happening, keep discussing about people around, that is not going to. So Shravanam will always be my listening thing has to be, Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Leela, pastimes. Apart from my work, and even while doing my work, my prescribed duties, I keep remembering, and it is in my every, nas, what we see, all the nerves. I think I told you the story also. Arjuna, when, he was sleeping and with Krishna in this room, and when the next day he is not there, Rukmani goes and sees, and what is happening? Why is he like this? So every nerve of Arjuna saying Krishna, 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 Krishna. And we also saw Janabai. So anything I do, Krishna Arpanam, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So that sort of a memory, that sort of a thought. So the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Okay. So it is totally surrendered. Whatever he does is fine. I'm doing what he has guided, he has suggested. The intuition and the gut feeling that we get in the first moment is his voice. Remember that. But then we have to be very determined, not going pros, not having the dualism. Do I have the faith or not? If I have the faith, I totally surrender. And then get us great satisfaction. Whatever he gives, I'm fine with it, whether it is pleasure or pain, because that has to come according to our karmas. So we will be just having the conversation only about him, about all these. So the rest of the things, automatically, believe me, you will start thinking, oh, it's all connected with the material world, which is perishable, which is just a kshanamatra, just for a few seconds. But how much we care about only that. Remembering Krishna and the ultimate home, the way to Godhead, somewhere, gets deluded. That cannot happen with the pure devotees. Are you able to hear? Look at the joy in them. The joy is so much. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Who
To
is
those
this? Yeah, read and then we will talk about the image that's been given here.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Okay. Who is this? The small boy here. Any guess? Durva Maharaja. Okay, so I'm sure you all know Durva's story. Durva Polestar. Now, Durva, Suniti and Surichi, Uttama, that king, he had two wives, okay? Suniti and Surichi. So the second wife was had the son, and he was sitting on the lap of the king. And Durva enters and he says, that's the elder wife's Suniti, that itself Suniti, the dedicated the person. He goes and he wants to sit on the lap of the father. Now, the stepmother says, no, you cannot, because you are not born from me. So then he says, what do I do? Then you go and do the penance in the jungle, and you pray, ask Narayana and ask him to be born from me. Then only you can get this kingdom, or your father's lap. So he takes that word and he goes and search, and then he meets Narada. Comes naturally, Narada, he's such a small boy, he's trying to, but then he is very, very determined to get the father's lap and the kingdom. So he is very, very strict penance is doing. So he has been taught the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, all that, and then he starts chanting 2 months without food, then 3 months. So those are all given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then how he is on the leaf, in the air, water, and then air, and without air also. So even Indra Loka, it seems everything gets shattered because the breath is so much in control. And imagine the smallest bhakta, Durva. So he has the form in his mind, and he's just praying. Now what happens is, now when really Vishnu comes, Narayana comes in front of him, he's not even with the 4 hand Shankha Chakra, he's not able to, he doesn't open his eyes. So finally with the Shank, he's opening and he removes the image from inside his heart, then he is able to see. Then he prays, and then he says, okay, now please ask what you want. Actually he was wanting the material world, right? Something to do with material world. But when he sees Krishna, he says, what did I ask? Oh my God, I cannot ask for all those things. I don't want. When I see you, I want only you. I want to be with you. That's it. But then because, they are so dedicated, he has done so much of penance. So he says, no, you will get beyond Vaikuntha Loka, beyond Vaikuntha Loka. So he says, even my mother needs this liberation. So it seems in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is all given. So Durva Charitram, you should read. Durva Charitram is the phenomenal one. So that is how the pole star is there always. So that doesn't get annihilated. Okay. So what is it mainly? Whatever you have, he will give. So if you're devoted, then whatever you require, whatever you desire, whatever you deserve, also I will give. So what you deserve, what you have. What you have is protected. What you deserve, he knows it better. That also will be given. That's the main shloka in this. Tesham evan anukam partha mahamajnana jamtamaha nashayam yatma bhavasto yana deepena bhasvata.
To show
The,
them
the, mm.
special, to show
Yeah,
them
please go ahead.
to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
8, 9, 10, 11. This, these four shlokas are the beautiful shlokas which we all have to, enjoy and dwell in his intelligence, his compassion. So on this image, when you see, what is this first image? This one, any guess? Parikshit Maharaj knows that in 7 days he is going to die. So he says, I want the best and I just need to know what do I do in 7 days. He's not scared of this. But then Shuka Maharaj is in the Naimisharanyam. He's actually Srimad Bhagavatam. 7 days, 24/7. No one has got up. All the, including Narada, all the rishis, all the sages are sitting and listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so Veda Vyasa, when he's writing, he says, like, I wrote Mahabharata, so many shlokas and everything. This man fought with this person, this warrior, that warrior. I'm not happy. So Srimad Bhagavatam clearly talks about Krishna's pastimes, plus all the great sages are listening. And Parikshit, why Parikshit? Parikshit is a very jigyasu. He's a jigyasu. He's very curious. If you remember, he's Abhimanyu's son. So, because Ashwatthama sent that, he wanted to totally destroy the Pandavas' Vansh. So, then inside him, inside the fetus of Uddhava, when Draupadi, Kunti, when Abhimanyu's wife, Uttara, all of them fall into the feet and says, let's save this child. So he enters and he tries to make sure he sent the chakra and then the fetus is saved. So Parikshit, that's the curiosity, has been watching from inside. He wants to know who it is. So he keeps testing. That is the Parikshit Maharaja, he is Arjuna's grandson. So what happens is, he knows, like, it is all his karma, whatever. So in 7 days, he's going to die. That's a big story. In 7 days, when I have to die, what do I do? So he is listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a treasure for us also. So that's the first one. Then this picture, Kapila Muni. Kapila Muni is been a teacher in 18 years, like, Devahuti, Kardama Maharaja's wife is Devahuti. She wants to know, she knows, like, he will also go for Vanaprastha. Kardama Maharaja has already gone, and the son also will go. But before going, it's Avesh Avatara. It is also Krishna's one part of, Kapila Muni is explaining all that Vanaprastha, maybe tomorrow or day after, whatever he has told, like around 24, that learnings and teachings, what he learned from around him is all he is explaining. How to get detached from this world is what is explaining. So such a great guru, explaining it to his own mother. And look at the way the mother is sitting. The son is explaining, the mother is sitting. And then the third image, this image, if you see, it is Markandeya Rishi and this one, Akrurar, Vidurar, I'm forgetting this name, the Uddhava. Okay, so Uddhava Gita also came from Srimad Bhagavatam, you find Uddhava Gita. So what is Uddhava doing here? They don't want, Krishna is in the form with the 4 hands. So, he has to leave now. This is enough. All those stories you would have heard, that arrow and Yadava Kula Vansh and all that. So there, when he's leaving, Uddhava is so unhappy. He's coming with the Markandeya Rishi also. So he says, don't go. So that Uddhava Gita is born from here. He's also listening. So it is all out of compassion, okay? Dwelling in their hearts. Now, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with a shining lamp of knowledge and darkness born of ignorance. So this is how his compassion is shown. They're all listening. Now, after listening to this, 12 and 13th shloka is totally, now Arjuna understands. Arjuna is totally now into that trance. So he says, Arjuna Vacha, Param Brahma, Param Dhama. You are the Param Brahma now. You are the Param Dham, the holy place. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam, Divyamadi Devamajam Vibhum, Ahustva Mam Mrishaya, Sarve Devarshi Naradastatha. Asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishime. So you are everything. Now he's totally, goosebumps on Arjuna when he's listening to all this. Till 10th, 11th shloka, he's listening to what Bhagavan said. Where is he? What is he? And now you are saying, you are the Pavitram, you are the purest, you are the Paramdham, you are the Paramatma. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, ma'am. Arjuna said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me.
So all of them have said in different scriptures, Brahma Samhita or Srimad Bhagavatam, everywhere Narada has written. So all of them speaks about it. Now you yourself are saying. So that's what Arjuna is confirming, giving that sort of a stamp to make us all understand. Yes, he is Bhagavan, he is Paramatma. Okay. This is a very beautiful one. So just look at the image and look at both the, lovely painting in the Sarvameta Adbhutam Manye Yen Mam Vadasi Keshava Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devana Danavaha.
O Krishna,
Yes.
I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Even they cannot understand. Okay, but now I understood whatever you're saying. So he is accepting totally admiration, acceptance, acknowledging, and then appreciation, attachment to Krishna. These are all stages. Okay. So I am evatmanatmanam vethatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
Yes, so we are all our internal potencies, external potencies, is energy and energetic, everything. So the acceptance, now all that Krishna is saying, whatever he said should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then only can we understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. This is the purport which Prabhupada has written. So Krishna, we have accepted. That's why I said all A's, acceptance, attachment to Krishna, the ruchi which we get, that those are the stages. So, katham vidyamaham yogis twam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya.
O
Yes,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Yes, when you say unalloyed devotional service, then Keshu, Keshu, how do I do it? I always have to remember you. It's very difficult. So, so he is going to explain Vaishnava, a devotee. How do we actually, when you start meditating in all pervasive the Supreme Lord, how do we do this? Visteranatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kataya triptir hi shrunvato nasti me mritam.
O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
So more we hear, that's the beauty. More we start hearing. We feel, oh my God, we are deprived of so many scriptures, you will enjoy Srimad Bhagavatam. This is just a gate. Bhagavad Gita is just a gate. Krishna has been speaking. When you enter the gate, when you enter into the the room, I mean, in fact, it is the temple. So when you enter into the temple, you will understand, oh my God, look at the opulences, what all he is having, what all. So look at this image, keep that in your mind. Okay. The ones that we will, the following almost, I think, 8 or 9 shlokas is talking about where all, what all, in the opulences, where all he is there, almost 10.19 to 10.38. So all his creation, that in this is given there. So this you will see where all he is there. Uchishrava, Narada, Okay. You can read, there was one more person who's this else who would like to read the one which is given here. You can just unmute and read, because there are so many opulences. 10.19 to 10.38. Arpit, Saloni Mataji, can you read?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
The table itself, na, ma'am.
This, yeah, the first two.
AM. Sorry. Vishnu, Adityas, Surya,
Okay,
Sun, light.
there are 2 sentences. I think it's on the top. The blessed Lord said,
Yes.
yes, I
The-
will tell you.
The blessed Lord said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limited. Opulence is
It doesn't
limitless.
matter. No, sorry. Opulences is all his glories, all his qualities, all his guna, all his, those effulgences. Yes.
Vishnu, Adityas, Sun, light, Marshini, Maruts,
Marichi,
moon,
Marichi. So you will
Marichi,
see in sun, the light is him. Okay. So that is how we have to connect.
Marichi, Maruts, moon, stars, Sama, Vedas, Indra, demigods, mind, senses, life force, living beings, Lord Shiva, Rudras.
So it's like this. In Rudras, he is Lord Shiva. In Yakshas and Rakshasas, he is Kuvera. Like that you have to, okay?
Okay.
So on the right, whatever you're saying, that among that, he is in this. So
Yeah.
in Rudras, he is Lord Shiva, like that. Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
In priests, it's Brihaspati. In generals, it's Skanda. In bodies of water, it's ocean. In sage, it's Bhrugu.
In sages, he is Bhrigu. Krishna is Bhrigu. Okay.
Yeah. In vibration, it's Aum. In chanting of holy name, that is Japa, it is sacrifices. In immovable things, it is Himalayas. In trees, holy figs, Ashwatha. Sages of the demigods, it's Narada. In singers of the demigods, it's Chittaratha. In perfected beings, that is Siddharth, it is Kapila, and in horses, it's
Uchishrava.
Uchishrava.
Yes, the horses, the Uchishrava came from, from the Mathan, from the Samudra Manthan. That is when the ocean was like, so from that the best of the horses, Uchishrava, they came. Why is it not moving? Yeah. Yes.
In men, it's monarch. In weapons, Vajra. In cows, Surabhi. In procreators, it's Kandarpa, Cupid. Serpents, it's Vasuki. In snakes, Ananta. Aquatic deities, Varuna. Departed ancestors, Aryama. In dispensers of law, Yama. Deity, demons, Prahlada. In subduers, time. Beasts, lion. birds, Garuda, purifiers, wind, in wilders of weapon, Rama, in fishes, shark, flowing rivers, it is Ganges, in creation, beginning, end, and also middle. Science is spiritual science of the life. In logicians, conclusive truth. In letters, a, or. In compound words, dual word, dvandva samas. In creators, it's Brahma.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? Ishika Mataji, or who else is there? Can anybody unmute? And yes, Yashika.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, next one. Can you
Yes.
read this?
Yes, Mataji. Among all devouring death and generator of all things yet to be. Among women, it's fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. Among
Somebody
him-
was asking, Yashika Mataji, 1 second. So in women, did you see all those qualities which has been given by Krishna? So in women, fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. These are all the qualities, the best qualities in women, and that is also Krishna. So if somebody says, oh, your scriptures talk about, women as inferior, please tell them. Krishna himself says women is always given the highest importance. And men may be just strength, but women, fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, patience. This is what you all have. This is what we all have. And that is Krishna. Yes.
Among hymns, he's Bharat Sama. Among poetry, he's Gayatri. Among months, he's Margashira, that is November to December. Among seasons, he's spring, that is flower bearing. Among cheats, he's gambling. Among splendid, he's splendor. Among he's victory and adventure. Among strong, he's strength. Among descendants of Varshini, he's Vasudeva. Among Pandavas, he's Arjuna. Among sages, he's Vyasa. Among thinkers, he's Usana. Among punishments, he's rod of chastisement. Among victory seekers, he's morality. Among secrets, he's silence. Among wise, he's wisdom.
Very good. So the same picture that you saw, all of them, it is just for a reinforcement. Anantanaga, Uchishra is Narada, Airavata. You're seeing all of them. And, you're also seeing Shiva. All these, the opulences, among them, like you're also seeing the Kartikeya down below is a general, right? So the lion here, everything is him. That's the reinforcement, and that is the almost 9 shlokas talk about his opulences in that way, because he wants to listen. Arjuna wants to know more about Krishna, where all you live, where all you stay, what is your, those glorifying things, can you explain? So that's what Krishna gave till 38 shloka, all his, where he is residing, where is he, what is he, that what is he is what we are trying to understand. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadah marjuna na tadasti vina yes yet syad maya bhutam characharam. Oh, before moving, Hare Krishna, thank you both of you. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Rajshekhar Prabhu.
Yes, ma'am. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
So there is no being which is moving or non-moving, which can exist without him, because he is the generating seed of all the existences. Nantosti mama divyana vibhutinam parantapa yesha tu drishetah prokta vibhutir vistaro maya.
O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences.
Oh, so know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. What does this mean? Spark of my splendor. So
It's just a
yeah,
small part of it. Like it's not like he has not
we
shown.
are
It's
all
just a
part and
trial.
yes, yes. It's just a spark, a small spark only. So yadya dvi bhuti matstavam satvam Shri Madhurjita Mevava Tattadeva Vagachatvam Mama Tejo Shaptam Bhavam Tejodbhavam. So why is Krishna in always seen on a leaf? Vadapatram. Can anybody unmute and say, why? What do you see this? Excuse me. What do you see on a leaf with the toe on his mouth? What does it indicate? Why is he like this? It's there in the Markandeya Leela. It seems like, he says, everybody wants to touch my feet. Let me also taste my feet. You will see all the children, most of the children, in this stage. So when the annihilation takes place, he's the only one who is on the leaf. And then if it's all a cycle, everything like Satyuga comes and then, Treta Yuga, then you will see this Dwapara Yuga again. So all this Yuga keeps moving. That is how one Divya Yuga, we have seen the calculation. So all that, know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations, they all spring from, so imagine his glory. I mean, we cannot imagine, even visualizing is not at all possible. From that, it is just one spark and we are all part and particles of him. We don't merge in him. Okay, he is another person. He is a super soul. We are different. We are all individual conditioned souls. And we are given a particular body depending on the karmas that we have done. Birth after birth, whatever karmas, prarabdha, sanchita karma, accumulated karma, accordingly, we are existing. Excuse me. Tad dvibhuti matsatvam Shri Madhujitameva va Tattadeva Vagachatvam Mama Tejosha Sambhavam.
Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Yes. Athava bahunetena kim jnatena tavarjuna Vishtabhyahamidam kritsnamekam sha na stitho jagat.
But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe.
So initially also we saw the string has got all those pearls in that, and so he is holding it, he is the thread, he is the pearl. So now also he is explaining why this detailed knowledge I'm supposed to be giving. I don't have to give, because this single fragment of myself I pervade and support this entire universe. So this is the image. What does it show? What does it show? Can
Ma'am, all the
Ishita
creatures
Mataji.
are
Yeah,
getting
yeah, please use Rajshekar Prabhu.
ma'am, all the creatures that are there available, like whether it's human being and whether it's animals and everything, it's just like a small just like a small spark that is getting energies from him, and they are living with because of him.
Is it only the energy? He is residing in them. That is the image. Can you see? He is inside everybody as an Antaryami. Okay, so as an Antaryami, he is residing in all of us, in all the living entities, in Tavaram, in trees, in the animals, in the insects, everything is there. So we are all just apart from him. And then we are part and particle, but then all the living entities, in all the living entities, he is there as a super soul. Okay, we are just individual souls. He is eternal. He is Anadhi. There is no, all these souls do not have any, and anadhi is, it's eternal. It is always there. Okay. Krishna is unknowable and source of all. So, Name Vibhu Suraghana, pure bhakti, essence of Bhagavad Gita in 8 and 11, 8 to 11 is Mat Chitta Madgata Prana. Arjuna accepts Krishna's supreme position. Sarvam Etat Ritam Manye. Lord Krishna describes his vibhutis. Main is his all his opulences, the absolute opulences. Divya hi Atma Vibhutaya. So, when we explain this as his opulences, so there is, okay, there is another thing which comes to our mind. Does it mean, some curiosity? When he said he is everything, that is how slowly we get into the Vishwarupa. The next chapter is all on Virat Swarupa. So Arjuna is like, overwhelmed with all these opulences. He's really admiring. Now, the next curiosity will be, let me see what it is. So that is how it moves on to the 11th chapter, which is Virata Swarupa, which is, everything inside. So what is it is trying to slowly and gradually progress towards his opulences and his rupa. It is also clearly says that, no other person can be explaining this. Now, only by explaining, only by understanding his opulences, we are not going to achieve anything. So that is how it moves on to the 11th chapter, where he shows, so that nobody can pretend and say, I am Bhagavan. Because we have a proof, through Arjuna, we have a proof, we have somebody in front of us showing that these are all my opulences. Okay. I will stop here. Any question? I see very less number of devotees today. Well, they have got down in the center, in the middle, maybe whatever reasons, but then still, I admire and appreciate all those who are here and all those who will be listening to the recording, and they'll be doing the quizzes, and I'm sure they'll also move on with us to the level 2 classes. Registration will be done by them, and I assure that you get into the essence of it, and there's a big there is a pathway laid for you for all your glories, for all your fulfillment of those desires, either in this material world, which is also equally important for you to earn and earn and earn more. And then, of course, your part, you can decide, this part is mine, this part is this part is this, all that you can decide. Okay, I will stop here. Any question, anything?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, like till this point in time, like it is said that every creature and everything, all the energy, like all the creatures and all the things in the universe, all the resources reside in him and everything. But there is a lot of negativity that is prevailing in this universe. Like many people are there who are not who are not dharmic. They are a dharmic, they are a theist and everything. So is it in the decision of him, or is it the decision of the individual soul? Is it Krishna's decision that he will be his devotee or he'll not be his devotee? Because Krishna is never partial, but still there is so much negativity and there are so much people who are doing bad things.
Correct. And if you really think of it, he's just watching. Okay, he's just, it's all like, Chitragupta is writing all your accounts. And there are a lot of negativity, which is true. Kali Yuga, it will still go on. It's only, 42 lakh years are still there. So the Kali Purusha, it lives in the intoxication, alcohol, or, in gold, in greed, in lust, anger. Now, why we have so many around us like this? It's all their previous birth karma. But he is only a spectator. He is in every living entity. That is also true. He is not the doer. He is not asking you to do. The Triguna, when, that external energy, which we will see in 13 chapters, the Kshetra, Kshetrajna, it is all because of those elements in the material world, which makes you to do certain things. And we come above that only by devotional service, only by connecting with Krishna. Only then all those sins can be, but then we are not responsible. We, in the sense, each individual has to do their duties and look into themselves to purify their own souls. But why is it happening? Why things are around like this? This is in Kali. So Kali Purusha dominates. Now, the best way to come out of it for you as an individual, I see around me so much of negative energy. How do I keep myself positive? It's only by chanting. It's only by doing devotional service. You see the lotus flower is always in the mud, where you will find everything. So I had one client, who said, I'm into this group of prostitutes, but do you think that I'm into it? So around you, even if there is negativity, you yourself, when you have realized, when you have understood this is the negativity, but let me come out of it. So that Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Atma Nivedanams, or all those things, offering, this will keep you away from the negative energy. If you wish, again, if you wish, you deserve, you desire, you said, no, I need to be out of it. So if you really wish that you've realized, you've understood, you don't have a control on the negativity outside you. He is there inside. He is watching. Okay, is it just a guideline for us to see God in everyone so that we are good to everyone and our behavior? Could be. That is possible. Is it just a guideline, or is he really there inside everybody? He is there inside because he speaks, because he is telling us, no, I am there in everybody. So what will happen? You are purifying yourself by looking at others, not hating anybody, not taking out the words which will hurt somebody. So you are purifying because you want Krishna to be in your heart in a very safe, in a very generous, in a very comfortable position. So that's the reason. Okay, you don't have any control over the negativity of yourself. Yes, somebody in your community around you, there's community prayers. Why does it go on? Why do you think COVID came? Why do you think Corona came? Why are we all into this? The nature, so God is there. He shows us. He is showing us. Every minute he's showing. We cannot play with the nature. We cannot, because he's there. Now, if we realize that, we can come above these negative energies. But this is on 13th and 14th chapter will give you much more clarity in this, how those 24 elements around you play a role, how these trigunas play a role, what you eat, what you talk, what you eat is the basis for everything. Okay. So, the ahara, the way that yama, niyama, dhyana yoga in the 6th chapter also you understood that, those, but then how can you expect your own family members? You cannot make them do. Your own people, you cannot do. That people whom you feel that can realize. So you have come to this path, and so many of them got down from the train. So you understand, how things move on. You're sticking to this because you need this. Do you understand? I don't know if I have made it clear, but then you don't have any control over anything. But if you just see, there are two people. Either something is bad happening. Are you a bystander or just looking like that? Or you get involved and tell good things to them and explain it to them. So it is up to you. And the one who is going to receive, the one who is going to understand you, only them you can address. The one who is not going to understand that God is there in every creatures, and then you follow all the morals and ethics, that's not your duty. So each individual in their subconscious mind, they will realize, they know it. Do you think that they don't know what they are doing is adharma? Do you think that Duryodhana did not know what he's doing is adharma? Do you think that Karna did not know? Do you think Bhishma Pitamaha like person just kept quiet when Draupadi was in stress, when she had the distress. So what does it show? It clearly shows Krishna is there. He is in every living entity, but the decision is yours. Okay. So those who go on that path, you had something in your previous birth. That's how you're here. Okay. So we leave that till that journey, but then we continue it here. So you have come very early into this. Prajesh Prabhu is much, much early. He's in the high school and he has come here. So what does it show? It shows that you want to get out of this and then keep moving on. But we will also take, sadhu sangha is very important. You are not only with the sadhus, but you are also making others to get into this path if you think that is a devotional service. That's a great service.
Ma'am, I have two more questions.
Please.
Okay. Ma'am, one question is regarding this chapter. Like in the third shloka, it is said that he who knows me as unborn, beginningless, and the supreme lord of all the worlds, he only among men is like undiluted men is freed from all sins. Like who realizes that he is the supreme. But
Yes.
like in the sixth chapter, it is said that when you do Ashtanga yoga, and when you are able to do so, if you are unsuccessful, then also you will be born in a pious family. But here it is written that you will be freed from all sins. So of course it will not, like, you will not be born, right? So these two things are contradicting each other, that whether
Yes.
once you are able to do Ashtanga yoga, you will be able to reach Krishna. Otherwise, you have to if you are unsuccessful, though you will be born in a pious family, but you will be reborn.
See, Ashtanga Yoga, Arjuna himself said that it is very difficult. Okay. So many of you said that it is easy. It's not easy. You cannot be in a secluded place and keep doing only the meditation and all that. So that samadhi level, but few of those things can be done. And people, Siddha Purushas, do that, and then they are in that level where they leave the body, and when they leave the body, they are born in the pious family. That is in the sixth one. Here, what he says is like, you are liberated soul. How does that liberation takes place? You are fully devoted. So, yo mam jamana din cha veti loka maheshwaram asammudhas martyeshu sarva papai pramuchite. That's what he says, like, So, if you realize Krishna as a beginningless, as a supreme Lord, then undiluted among men is freed from all sins. Did he say that you are totally liberated? You are free from all sins. You are also born in the pious family. You may come back again. You said, Krishna is the Anadhi, he is eternal, he is beginningless, he is everything. Then what is that you are following? Are you following all those bhakti prasas, all those devotional services? Okay, so here that is not a contradiction. The contradiction here is, am I free from sins or am I liberated? It's not even contradiction. It is the perception. It is what we have to realize and understand. Am I free from everything, free from the sins? Even if you offer a food, palam toyam, like you just give him a leaf and a fruit, even then you are free from sins. Here also, if you understand Krishna as Anadi, you are free from sins. It's very clear. But are you liberated? Liberated is you are not reborn again. Okay, there is two things. We are all conditioned souls. So you realize something, you are free from sins, you keep doing the devotional service. Your goal is, I need to get liberated. This soul needs to get liberated. I don't want to be born again. I have to be doing only this. But there are Siddhatmas like Hanuman and all. Hanumanji, he said, no, I don't want even mukti. I don't want even moksha. I don't want Vaikuntha. I don't want Godoka. I just need to be here doing the devotional service. That is, much more higher souls. And there are people who are relieved from sins, but still doing all those duties, which may be prescribed with all this mode of passion and mode of ignorance, mode of sometimes like, mode of goodness. And if they are reborn, but they may, doing this devotional service, they may be born as in a pious family with all, like, wealth and richness, where all these pious rituals and activities are all austerities, charity, everything goes on. They will still be doing all this, but they will be reborn. See, there are two things, right? I'm out of sin. I understand liberation is important. I know the goal. I have the expectations and I have this process of bhakti. I'm doing it. But then I am not totally into that samadhi level, that siddha level. So half of it, like yama, niyama, I follow all that external purity, internal purity. I do that pranayama, pratyahara. But still, I am not into that liberation mode. Why? Because there are the karmas which has made us conditioned in this material world. This is the 13th chapter, which gives that elaborate thing, how we get entangled. That entanglement, how does it happen? So after we see the Virat Swarupam of Krishna, then we move on, how we get entangled and how we can come out of the entanglement. So these are all the inquisitiveness and curiosity which we have understood in the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, if you do. And then here we have found all his opulences, and he says, like, you understand me, you're out of sins. Okay, you become pure. So it's all the purity process only, not the liberating the soul. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is so much into it, Rajshekhar Prabhu. I'm so happy that, you are getting involved into this, which shows that, that curiosity. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam, oh, you will enjoy. Not that I have read fully. I'm also in the process only. Yes.
Okay.
Any other question? Otherwise, we'll stop here so that, you all come back again tomorrow.
Ma'am, the
For
next
Virat.
question I'll ask tomorrow. It will be a long answer for you, so I'll ask it tomorrow.
No, you can still ask. Prabhu, I'm okay with it. You can
Okay, if
ask.
you're okay, then I'll ask. Okay.
Yes, please.
So, ma'am, it is like the first time I started reading Bhagavad Gita was in 11th standard when I started, but it was without guidance. I was just reading sloka by sloka, and I finished it in a span of 3 years. I finished it at college second year. But after that, my bhakti is always in bits and pieces. I always come for 4 months, 5 months, and then I again go back to that, my negativity thing. And again, then when it feels so, it's in bits and pieces, because I thought that I would not get influenced by the negative around me, but sometimes I get influenced. That's why my bhakti happens always in bits and pieces. Because when I say bits and pieces, when I am there in bhakti, then I have questions of curiosity. But if I'm not in bhakti, then I have questions of curiosity that is against God and that is against Krishna, which questions that does it all exist, or is it just a mere, that thing. So that comes again and again many a times, and I'm like 23, 24 now. So it's like in this age, there is like of my group, there are so much negative things around me, but I'm still trying to focus on the bhakti part and coming back to it again and again, so that I never leave him. I just tell him every time that I leave, just be treat me as a bhakta, that I don't leave you always. You just leave me, I just go back and then I come back again. So that happens again and again with me.
So you want the answer for this, Rajshekhar Prabhu. The moment you have realized, I'm going back and forth, I'm into this. Is it right? It's not right. So much of negativity again around me. How do I elevate myself? See, it's basically the elevation of the soul. Now, bhakti is a process. Okay, bhakti cannot happen in one day. When we were asking a question, they said a 5-year Prahlad Maharaj and Durva Maharaj and all, can we become like that? No, we cannot. We are in the material world where around you, all those 3 gunas, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance takes the road. Okay. So are you controlling your surrounding? Yes, your intelligence and your ego, your soul makes you correct yourself then and there. That is why you are into this. You come back here. Now, what is happening? You get diverted because of this material entanglement. But you come back again and again, you ask yourself, oh, please, and you are asking Krishna also, you're saying that, keep me in this bhakti, keep me in this bhakti. That's a beautiful thing. That is the process. That is the beginning. So you have already made sure that you should not be getting out of this, which is a great thing that you are doing. So you are sticking to that feeling, no, Krishna is inside. But asking this question, does it all exist? is somewhere your faith is shaking. That
yes.
faith, yes, that shaking should not take place. That shaking has to be like, you have to be very firm, very much determined, self-conscious, and saying that, no, I have the faith. I know fully well Krishna is existing. He is there. He is watching. He is listening. He is in you. He is around you. So when that faith, how that faith comes? You start experiencing. And how that experience comes? You start chanting. How the chanting starts? When you are in these classes, when you are interacting, when you read those scriptures, when you listen to the music, then you don't feel like listening to anything else which causes negativity. You understand? So, and that comes with what you eat, how you give it as a prasadam. So these are all connected. Okay,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
goes on. This gets connected into such an extent that you know very well that all these things cannot divert you. When you ask such questions, oh, I'm getting diverted, when you are realizing that, that itself shows that you are into the bhakti process. So don't ever have the doubt in you that, am I doing it right? Am I doing it? I'm getting diverted. Then so
Normally that doubt comes when someone who is a atheist, or if I'm in a sangata of them, and they put their logical reasons in front of me, and I'm not able to counter that with Krishna consciousness or like the answers of Bhagavad
So,
Gita.
okay, so I understand what you are saying. Like, in 18th chapter, you will see, you don't have to answer them. You don't have to give any logical reasoning. You're not the one. 18th chapter clearly says that you will see in the shloka that, those who don't believe me, don't go and keep wasting your time. Don't do that. It's not required. It is their karma. If we start doing all that, what is happening? Their karma also comes to us. Don't ever, even if they are the friend, they are atheist, just leave them. Just leave them. Let them realize what they want to realize. Whosoever believes him, explain more and more. Be in that. That I used to do this mistake and give the logic, give the reason, but why? What is the requirement? Who asked us? Krishna is not wanting any marketing person. No, he doesn't
Yes.
want. So why do we do it? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. We know about it. Let's have that strong faith. Yes, I know it is very, very difficult to keep silent. Yes, Saloni Mataji, I understand. No, ignore those topics, divert those topics. If they have the logic, there is, see, it is so difficult, I also faced many times. And then we have to stop and divert it. Because those who don't believe, don't go and waste time on them. That's what Krishna says. So let's follow that. Okay. Okay. I will stop here, but I can continue that tomorrow also. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. Please start chanting. You will have the answers for all that. Okay. Yes. Yes. Saloni Mata.